How are you today? I'm Melissa, and this is Hang In There. I'm really glad you're here. You can listen at your own pace. This is a space for survivors and for anyone who wants to understand healing and trauma. If it feels okay, take one slow breath with me. Let's begin. Maybe you've had mornings like this. Your eyes open before the alarm. Your body already feels tense, maybe afraid. Your mind is trying to remember where you are. The room is quiet, but something from a dream is still there. Before you even get out of bed, you're scanning the room, trying to push memories away, trying to steady yourself before the day even begins. Something from the dream lingers. A feeling, a moment. And then you still have to walk into work carrying all of that. Trying to focus. Trying to function. Hoping no one notices the battle taking place quietly inside you. Many survivors know what it feels like to wake up already exhausted. Not from the day ahead, but from the memories that returned during the night. The dreams, the nightmares. Memories you never asked to dig up. Memories you would have preferred to stay lost. Memories your body still remembers, even when you wish it wouldn't. And then the day still has to happen. Work still happens. Responsibilities still happen. Life still expects you to function. Today, I want to walk through what a day like that can look like for someone living with trauma, and how much strength it can take just to show up. If this resonates with you, please know you're not alone. And if this experience feels unfamiliar to you, this is just a small window into what some survivors carry with them every day. Your alarm goes off. It's 5 a.m. You open your eyes. Where are you? You scan the room. You are safe. But your body doesn't believe you yet. You don't feel safe. Your stomach turns. That familiar fear is there again. The fear of that person. A life you thought you'd left behind is haunting you in your sleep. The weight of it feels overwhelming. You beg yourself not to dig it up. You hope this will be one of the dreams you can't remember. Some dreams leave only a feeling behind. And some, you wake up remembering everything. Either way, the day ahead suddenly feels much harder. This morning, you wish you could shake the feeling that you were transported into a different life while you slept. You pause, trying to orient yourself. Then you roll out of bed. You push yourself forward. You are a reliable employee. You have to go to work. You begin getting ready. You drag your feet to the espresso machine and down 3 shots, hoping the caffeine clears your mind and pulls you out of that headspace. You feed the animals, watching them get excited for their breakfast, without a care in the world. Then you pack lunch for the day. And you think. If you let yourself be fully present, you might throw up. These are all tasks you've done hundreds of times before. Your body moves through them on autopilot. You take a shower, get dressed. You put on the mascara you remember got you into so much trouble back then. Every day you put it on, you remember. Your stomach turns. Why can't you just forget? It's been years. You sigh, look in the mirror. You tell yourself you can do this. You are strong. You can nap when you come home. You can endure it. You push the button to open the garage door. You walk outside toward the garage, scanning in every direction for danger. Moving slowly, looking around corners, waiting for the motion light to flick on so you can see. You look into the car before you get in, checking for anyone who might be hiding inside. Maybe it wasn't locked overnight. And behind you, you feel vulnerable. You do a quick scan. Then you get in. You begin driving to work. Your mind is already preoccupied, sad, nervous, worried, all at the same time. The caffeine isn't helping the anxiety, but you're awake. You do love caffeine. Your heart is racing, for many reasons. You are driving. Then you see the first truck. Your stomach drops. A rush of memories follows, awful ones. Times when you felt like your life was in danger. Times when you were trapped, you and your babies in trucks, with no way out. You look away immediately, but they're everywhere. Another truck passes, then another. Every time you see one, your body floods with that same terrible feeling. You don't know these drivers. These trucks have nothing to do with your past. But your body reacts anyway. You try to block them out. You just want to get to work. You try to stay present. Your fingers rub the stitching on the steering wheel. It's something to focus on. But your mind keeps drifting back, thinking, remembering. You try to block out the dream, the memories. Your body won't let you. It reacts whether you remember the dream or not. Eventually, you make it to work. You pull up and sit in the line of cars for the parking ramp, waiting. You try to calm yourself down. It's too late to call in sick now. So you try the skills you've been taught for moments like this. You try to ground yourself while you sit there, while you wait. You remind yourself that you have caring coworkers, wonderful people around you. You tell yourself that you are safe at work, that you can get through today. You understand logically that this is a different time in your life. But in this moment, your body feels like it's right back there again, like you're dealing with the same fear you felt all those years ago. You convince yourself to keep going. You pull into the ramp and park the car. You take a deep breath, finish your prayer, finish your meditation. You grab your lunch, something you barely remember packing in the fog of the morning. Then you walk into work. You step into the workday. You see friendly faces, warm people welcoming you in. You feel grateful for them. You tell yourself, you can do this. You check your assignment for the day, but something is different. It's not the assignment you expected. Your plan for the day has changed. An entirely different agenda. You feel thrown. Your heart starts racing. The unpredictability you've learned to live with at home feels very different here. At work, when the plan suddenly changes, it throws your nervous system off completely. On top of everything else from that morning, you feel like you just want to run, hide, say you're sick and leave. But you don't want to have that conversation. You know you'll cry. So you stay. Because you care about your job. This job saved your life. This job gave you the ability to escape. And these people have become your second family. You don't want to let them down. So you stay. You try to adjust your thinking. Maybe it's good for you to learn to adapt like this. You tell yourself that everyone's jobs can be unpredictable, that you have to work somewhere. So you tell yourself you need to learn how to handle days like this. But your body is stuck. It's already been thrown off by the dreams, by the trucks, by the sudden change in your assignment, and it's only 7 a.m. You don't want anyone to know. You don't want to disappoint anyone. You don't want your team to think you're incapable of doing your job. You're good at what you do. The battle happening inside your body and mind feels nearly unbearable. But nothing you can't handle, right? You've lived through so much worse. You learned how to endure, how to pretend, how to function even in the hardest moments. You tell yourself you can do it. Again. So you continue preparing for your day. It's going to be a long one. You push the feeling down. You want to cry. You want to go home and curl up in bed, but you can't. You need to be reliable. What if they don't like you if you leave? What if they don't want you there anymore? You want to be the team player everyone deserves. You wonder if the people you've come to trust, the people you've grown to care about, would understand if you opened up. The thought crosses your mind. But you don't have time to think about it. You need to stay clear-headed to do your job. You have to think ahead. You tell yourself you can do this. You make a promise to yourself. If you truly feel you can't do your job today, you'll speak up. You know your limits. So you keep going. You talk with your team. You act as if everything is okay. Maybe it is. Maybe you've cleared your head. Maybe the dream is gone. The trucks, the way your body felt earlier. Maybe the nausea has passed. Maybe you've moved on. Keep busy. Just keep busy. You don't want a free moment. You want to stay focused on the job you love doing. You refuse your morning break. If you slow down, you might start thinking, and you don't want to think. You don't want to remember anything. You work hard. You want people to see that. You want them to know you can handle this. But mostly, you just need to keep moving. Because if you stop, the memories might catch up. Can it just be a new day? Is it over yet? It's only 9 a.m., and you're already exhausted. The internal battles you've been fighting all morning are draining every bit of energy you have. You don't want to sit down. You're afraid that if you do, you won't have the energy or the clarity to stand back up. You're relying on the 3 shots of espresso you downed just a few hours ago, but you can't even feel them. Would more help? You keep working. You stay engaged with your team, acting as if everything is okay, as if you're in control. You care about these people. There's a lot of conversation happening around you. People talking about their mornings, their weekends, their kids, all while you're expected to think clearly and do your job well. And then there's the music. It's playing in the background while everyone talks and works, and you're trying to screen it. Listening to them while also listening for the songs, you don't have much to say. Right now, there are more important things to focus on than talking. You're listening carefully for certain songs. You're not sure if they'll be played today, but you're preparing yourself just in case. If it does come on, what will you do? How will you pretend you're okay? Do you put your hands in water? Do you write a note ahead of time and ask a coworker to turn it off? Do you say something the moment you hear it? Will you be able to control your reaction? Will you cry and not be able to stop? Will you shake, panic? Will your hands go numb? Will you dissociate? God, you hope the music doesn't come on. You are so on edge. You're listening to your team's instructions so you can do your job. At the same time, you're screening the music and battling flashes of the dream, images of the trucks. The heaviness, the nausea, the anxiety you felt before you even walked into work. You feel all of it. You're overwhelmed. You're afraid of what might happen in front of everyone. You want your team to trust you. You know you are trustworthy. You also know that if you truly couldn't do your job safely today, you would go home. You trust that about yourself. But those years of abuse trained you not to trust your own instincts. So you compensate. You look around. You triple check every piece of equipment, every step of your job, everything your hands and eyes can reach. You make sure it's perfect. You cannot relax. You are so tired. You want to run away, but you can't. You can't leave the room unless someone comes to relieve you. And suddenly, that feeling hits. You're trapped. Just like you were in the trucks. Just like you were in the house. The weight of that realization is overwhelming. It pulls your attention away from everything else. You wish you hadn't made the connection. You wish you could forget it. But now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. You triple check everything again, every step, every detail. It's done. Perfectly. You did everything right. You breathe. You try to use the grounding skills you've learned. You reassure yourself. You are a good employee. You are trustworthy. You know what you're doing. You're smart. You take another breath. You try to join the conversation again. You want to feel normal. You want to talk with these people, something you never had before. You are so grateful for your coworkers. You want to learn how to blend in, to make friends, to earn their respect. You waited a long time to have this. So why is it still so hard? After that part of the morning, you wash your hands and step away for a moment. You run to the bathroom. When you come back, you feel a little lighter. You walk back into the room. 2 steps in. And then you hear it. The music. Oh no. You've heard that song before. Your stomach. The guitar. The voice. It feels like it's screaming at you. Your body reacts instantly. You run out of the room, covering your ears. A coworker sees you. He looks confused, like he wants to help. You can't talk. For a moment, he searches your eyes, trying to understand what's wrong. Finally, you find the words. You ask him to please turn the music off. He does. You are so grateful for him. Just minutes earlier, he had come in to offer you your lunch break. And you had turned it down again. You run to the bathroom. You're crying. You try to pull yourself together in that small, cold space, but it feels impossible. You can't stop the tears. You start tapping, looking around the room, naming objects, anything to focus on. You talk to yourself, try every grounding skill you've learned in therapy. Everything you know to do in moments like this. But your body isn't calming down yet. This is one of the hardest parts of trauma to explain. Your brain knows you're safe, but your body doesn't. and you can't simply control it. You text your coworker to ask if it's possible to take that lunch break now. He leaves his own break to come and help you take yours. You are so grateful. You grab your lunch and leave the break room, looking for a quiet place to sit alone. You need time to reset. Even on normal days, eating around people can feel uncomfortable. You try to calm yourself down. You try to eat. But your nerves make your stomach feel tight. You worry it will turn into a stomachache. You convince yourself that you think more clearly when you haven't eaten. And besides, a stomachache would just be one more thing to deal with. You take a breath. You remind yourself that you can do this. Returning to work after a panic attack is hard, but you've done hard things before. You pick yourself up and start walking back. On the way, you pause and quietly write your name on the list to leave early, just in case, hoping for a little relief. If they don't need you, you can slip out and act as if everything was fine. You're very good at that. You hesitate before going back in. What music will be playing now? How many people saw you run out? Will your boss think you're incapable of doing your job? This isn't fair. It's not right. You lift your head and walk back in. You look your coworker in the eyes and thank him for helping you. You can't explain what just happened. You're still on the edge of crying, but he doesn't ask any questions. And you're really grateful for that. Your mind is spinning. The only way to finish the day now is to go above and beyond. You triple check everything. You focus on staying steady. You remind yourself that you are surrounded by caring, kind people. People who would support you if you needed help. You want to tell them what's been happening inside you, but you're afraid. Afraid they won't believe you. Afraid they'll think you're being dramatic. Afraid they'll see you as less capable. Afraid they might stop respecting you. You want so badly to tell someone to help them understand, maybe even to advocate for you, but you don't. You can't. You don't want to say it out loud. You don't want to scare them. You don't want them to feel sorry for you. You don't want their pity. You love your job. You love it, and you don't want it taken away from you. Not this, too. This is the first job you've had as an independent person. This job is the reason you were able to leave. It is yours, not his. And you are not going to give it up. All of these thoughts are still moving through your mind as the day finally starts to wind down. You change clothes. You say goodbye to your friends. Yes, you have friends. And you begin the drive home. You just drive. You breathe, trying to decompress, trying not to think. You push the thoughts away as best you can, but they keep creeping back in. So you turn on your music. The same songs you listen to every time you drive. No surprises. The music you know, the music you like. The music you know won't scare you. But then the anxiety starts creeping back in. You see a truck. They're everywhere. And suddenly you're thinking about the dream again, the one you wanted to forget. Your body feels tense. Your mind starts replaying the day, your conversations, your work, your performance. Did you do everything right? Did you miss anything? You can't remember it all. The anxiety rises again. Surely someone would have told you if something was wrong. You remind yourself that you are good at your job. You use the skills you've been taught. You roll down the window. The cold air rushes in. You let yourself breathe. You are exhausted. You pull into the driveway. You are home. Before we go any further, let's slow things down for a moment. If any part of that story stirred something up for you, that's okay. If it feels comfortable, take a slow breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. You don't need to change anything about how you feel right now. Just notice your breath for a moment. If it helps, you might also look around the space you're in. Maybe notice a few things you can see or something you can feel. The chair beneath you, the floor under your feet, the air on your skin. Small things that help your body remember where you are right now. We'll continue together in just a moment. Please breathe with me. The day we just walked through probably sounded incredibly exhausting to many of you listening. If you are a survivor, parts of that day may have felt sadly familiar. Moments you recognized immediately. And if you're someone trying to understand trauma, hearing the obstacles a person can face on a single ordinary day may have been extremely eye-opening. Because from the outside, it can look like someone simply went to work. They showed up. They did their job. They made it through the day. But what often isn't visible is everything happening underneath the surface. The scanning for danger, the memories that appear without warning, the effort it takes to stay present, the effort it takes to regulate a body that sometimes reacts to things the mind knows belong in the past. Trauma doesn't just live in memory, it lives in the nervous system. And sometimes that means the body reacts before the mind has time to explain what's happening. And that can make moments incredibly frustrating and difficult. So, if you are someone who lives days like this, I hope this story reminds you that the strength it takes to simply show up each day is real. And it deserves to be seen. And we see you. Before we move toward the end of today's episode, take one more slow breath with me. If any part of this story felt familiar to you, please remember that healing is not about forcing yourself to be okay all the time. Sometimes healing simply looks like showing up for another day. Sometimes it's getting through the moment. And sometimes it looks like giving yourself the time and space you need to stabilize and recover. What you are feeling has a reason. Your mind and your body learned how to survive, and learning how to live again takes time. I hope you can give yourself that time and the kindness you deserve while you heal. As we come to a close, we can slow things down for a moment. If it helps, notice where your body is right now. Feel the surface supporting you. Nothing needs to be resolved or understood today. You can take what felt helpful and leave the rest here. You can come back to this whenever you're ready. You don't have to carry this alone. This is Hang In There. Listen, heal, rise.